Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So, today we're being lambasted with the latest propaganda from traitorous Prince Harry and his ignoble wife. So, apparently, they have a video of him, allegedly. It's questionable because they've been putting out a lot of photoshopped and AI generated videos. So, you can't trust anything from these two criminals. But apparently, Prince Harry's been practicing surfing for a while. Now, if you remember back, I don't have the date on this, it was a few months ago where Harry was banned from taking, they mentioned that he was banned from taking surfing lessons from a blonde surf instructor in Carpinteria. So this was, I don't have a date on this, but it was about earlier in the year this came out, and the story just popped up. Harry's banned from taking surfing lessons from this instructor. Apparently, it was a blind item. Meghan restricted him from taking these lessons with his female blonde instructor. Apparently, Harry had a crush on her. A lot of people are wondering if Harry has another girlfriend. Maybe it's her. Whatever the case, because we all know his type is, thin blonde women. So, anyways, that came out, but then that story disappeared. There was no comment. Of course, Harry and Meghan didn't say anything about it. So we knew he was doing taking lessons in surfing. But I guess they wanted to surprise us with this, the fake, traitorous criminals here. That while people are suffering and dying from snake bites, they want to rub it in your face by saying, "Oh, I'm surfing now, and I'm playing polo on my ponies." I mean, it's just so disgusting to shove it in our faces. It's just my opinion. But anyways, let's take a look at this. I'm not going to show you the video; it's very long and boring. But they have some clips of it, of the what could be an AI video, and this doesn't look correct to me. I mean, I'm no expert on AI videos. The video is very long and boring. You can see that the shadows, just look at the shadows comparing his face to the hand and the arm there. If you look at the shadow on the hand, for example, zoom in on the hand, he's supposed to be in direct sunlight there, very dark shadows, very, the hand looks dark, very dark in the areas where there's a shadow. And, but if you look at his face, it should be dark shadows on the face, right? If he has direct sunlight, that his hair is all lit up, the face should look very dark in this video, right? Notice they cut off the face of the person in front of him, but you see very dark shadows. And this looks very lighted, and there's like no contrast there. It just doesn't look accurate. It looks like they lightened it. They could have photoshopped his whole head in there. And his head looks too big. I mean, that looks way too big. I mean, even if you're looking at, look at the size of his head to his arm. This looks like an AI generated, they just plopped his head in there. Kind of like a jib jab video or something, this looks totally fake to me. And like I said, with AI, they can, put anybody anywhere you want, but that head is way too large for that arm. It's way off. It's just absurd to look at the sizing difference. There's no way, even with foreshadowing, that's just way out of proportion. So that's totally fake looking. And the shadowing is all wrong. And I think TRG pointed out this picture they took of him here. His hair is completely dry, right? He's got dry hair, but we're supposed to believe he's with all this water. Even if you're on a surfboard, there's going to be a lot of water spritzing on you everywhere. It just doesn't look accurate. Or at least the head size here looks a little bit more accurate to the body, but still, it looks very photoshopped. I mean, look at the side. Look at the side of his head. It's like straight line. That doesn't look right. It looks, and the straight line of the neck, it doesn't look accurate. It looks photoshopped. That does not look right at all. I mean, of course, it's very blurry, but still, even a blurry picture, you're going to get some kind of indent on the face. It's not going to be a straight up and down line. So this whole thing looks very fake and phony, like everything they do. Look at part of the fake video here. I think the whole thing's fake. Photoshop and AI generated video.
Go! Stand up!
So again, that looks, the way it jumps around too, it kind of, I mean, I can't, I'm not, I get it. There's a way you can tell with AI videos, the way this looks off too, the way his chest to his arm is, I don't know. It doesn't, the way you can tell with AI videos is it jumps, the way it jumps from one scene to the next. It's not natural. Yeah, it's like it jumps, like you don't see a clear movement of him moving. And look at his neck. Look at what is this? Look how it's all dark here, and then it's a light square patch on his neck. This looks AI generated, and it just doesn't look. It does. This is not. Look at his ear. I mean, this does not look. It's not only does it. No, it looks AI generated, in my opinion. Oh, the blurriness on the head. Look how pixelated his face is. Yeah. This is not real. And they're putting this off in the mainstream media, trying to pretend it's real. I don't believe it. It's way too, it jumps from one scene to the next. It doesn't have a smooth, like if somebody were really jumping on their board. Like, what is he standing on here? He's supposed to be in like 10 feet of water or something. It doesn't, this does not look real at all to me. It looks they put his head on somebody else's body or something. I don't know. This doesn't look real to me. Of course, it is just a pool, but still, I don't know. The whole thing looks fake to me. And look how big his head is. Look at this big balloon of a head there. I mean, I don't. It just doesn't look real to me. I don't buy it. This video does not look real. I mean, it could be a real person surfing, but I think they put Harry's head on it. I don't think he. I don't think he's almost 40 years old. I don't think he's suddenly a surfer like this. I don't buy it. I mean, the whole thing looks fake to me. I'd have to see a lot more videos of it to believe that he can surf. I'm just not buying it. Not with all the photoshopping and AI generated videos that these two criminals do. I do not trust anything they come out with. That is just my opinion. So, anyways, that aside, fake videos aside, let's do something real. Picture from a real video they made from their, I think this is from their Netflix, I guess. Megan doing her fake bow. So I've been working on the shadowing on his face. So now I'm going to do a little bit more on this. Anyone's interested in doing some coloring for my coloring book here. And I am going to be using Black Widow pencils again. I'm going to be doing a shirt. And the colors I decided to go with today, I'm using navy blue and dark night and gunmetal. I think these are the closest. We can see the names in my camera there. There we go. Yeah, navy blue, dark night, gunmetal. These are the colors I'm going to be going with for Hairballs shirts, the fake surfers shirt. You know, it's just ridiculous, these two. You can't believe anything these criminals come out with or say. In my opinion, they're such criminals. And this after let me zoom in a little more. This after William just gave an award to Jacinda Ardern, the tyrannical dictator that committed crimes against humanity, and he's giving her an award. and he's also friends with Obama as well. So why don't you just, be friends with Hitler there? Why don't you just, dig Hitler out of the ground and hang out with him too? So if you're going to hang out with all these criminals, but this is the way the globalists are, in my opinion. They're all murderers. They don't see our lives as worth anything. Killing us is a sport for them. They just love it. But they also love like lying and deceiving and playing head games with their Tavistock. And trying to bring Harry as part with Meghan, trying to bring us all under Chinese Communist Party tyranny, style tyranny. My opinion. All criminals. Liars and criminals. I mean, I can't believe all the photoshops and fake videos they put out in the mainstream media. It's ridiculous. And you should see how many articles they published. If you do a search on Prince Harry surfing, I mean, there's like 1,000 articles already in one day, like as if he's the first person to ever surf. You know what I mean? They make such a big to-da about it. As if they're really pushing the royal family on trying to on the American conscience with this garbage. So disgusting, so ugly and stupid. And he was hanging out with John Bon Jovi for a while. John Bon Jovi, I believe, he's pushing the death shots. He's another war criminal, in my opinion. I tried to be a rock star like him. He tried to take up singing with him to see if he could do that, and he gave up on that. Obviously, he can't sing, so. And Prince Harry really had dreams of grandeur of being the superstar in America, and he thought like he was going to get all the girls, um, you know, falling over him like a rock star. I think he really thought he was going to be able to do that, but instead he's just a whiny little boy with a controlling wife, whining about his mother all the time. Just looks like a loser. He looks like a whiny biatch boy is all he looks like. Now he's trying to rehabilitate his image by showing himself surfing. I mean, it's just allegedly. I don't really believe that video at all. This looks fake to me. Everything this couple do is fake and phony and nothing but a pack of lies. We can color one of their infamous moments here with Megalodon doing her ugly uh, fake curtsy here. Like they think they're gonna get Americans on their side by mocking the Queen, the late Queen. That hasn't exactly worked out that way. They just come across like a couple of drugged up spoiled brats. Is what they are, in my opinion. But anyways, what we can do with this sweater here. All right, so that was the gunmetal. I'm starting with the lightest tones and going to the mid tones. The light tone is the gunmetal, and the dark night is the mid tone, and the navy blue is the darker tone, the darkest tone. A lot of like his shirt is interesting, artistically speaking, because there's a lot of, it's not very neat. There's a lot of see a lot of lines in there. It's very crinkled up. It's not fitted very well. So it's a lot of, scraggly. The shirt's bulging up here and there and everywhere. It's bunched up. It looks messy, very slouched. I mean, very casual. Looks like a nice shirt, but he's like not even, this is not a formal thing at all. He's looking a very slouched up, very slouchy shirts. If you're going to be on camera being interviewed, you think you make a little more effort to wear something a little neater looking, but instead he's just sitting there in this slouchy shirt. He looks hungover or something. Looks miserable. But they always look miserable because they're spoiled brats. They're just like always bored. always miserable, always complaining. That's their whole lifestyle. They want you to buy their books and buy their Netflix. And what a flop this thing was. So I'm using Dark Knight here right now, the midtones. I'm trying to get there's so many wrinkles in this shirt. I mean, I'm just guesstimating. It's a bit of a challenge, but it's a good challenge. You know, fabrics are always one of the challenges to do. So see if we how well we can how close I can get with these fabric, all these lines in the fabric. You know, in pre-Raphaelites, my favorite type of art is pre-Raphaelite art, and they have always have a lot of fabrics, folds. Folds are the word I'm thinking of. Folds in the fabrics. That's kind of good practice to see how many of the folds you can get. Yep. Of course, with pre-Raphaelite art, the folds are very well done and nice looking. Unlike this is just a slouchy shirt, folds all over the damn place. Like ridiculous. Like waves in his shirt. Yeah, kind of similar to doing ocean waves. You know, there's a bunch of waves going on here in the shirt, all different directions. Move the finger there by accident. Of course, you could just color in the whole shirt a dark color and then just go over it with a Posca pen, a lighter color, and just put them in later if you want, if you don't feel like dealing with all the lines. But I'm in the mood, I guess, to do some try to see what I can get with these lines in the shirt. Hmm. Also, with a white Prismacolor, you can go over. You can make the shirt one color and then go over with a white, or put white Prismacolor down first. I'm gonna do that next. I'm going to put in a white Posca, excuse me, a white Prismacolor to do the highlights, to keep the highlights from disappearing by accident if I accidentally go over it. I'm doing that right now. I got the white Prismacolor, so I'm just going over the light areas that I want to make sure stay light. But they're not. I put gunmetal down first because these lines are not white. They're like a gray, um, color here. But even if I go over it by accident, they'll still be, um, they'll stay lighter. All right, so now I'm going in with the navy blue. This is my dark color, my darkest color. So it's darkest over on the side here. May even put in black later if I feel like it. Going that dark. Got a big bulge up here on the shirt. The shirt just bulges up. It's so sloppy. It looks so sloppy and unkempt. This thing. It's ridiculous. These two. Whole Harry and Meghan psyop. I hope some serious investigators do cover this whole saga of Harry and Meghan and what they were really about. As, of course, it's nothing like they try to pretend they are. The nonsense of these two. The insanity. Harry and Meghan. Mental illness on display. These two. Making everyone crazy during a COVID psyop. Or making a lot of people crazy with their antics. Mm-hmm. That can be looking like just a bunch of weird lines, but in the end, I think hopefully after I smooth them all out with white or a lighter color, hoping this is going to come together and look somewhat accurate to this picture. This would be more interesting than coloring in. You might normally just coloring in the shirt one tone, looking too smooth. I'm just using very light pressure. I've used medium pressure, medium to dark pressure to get the real darkest areas first, and just sort of going over lightly. Very light pressure for the rest of it. This is the navy blue, very dark, darkest blue basically. Pressing down hard in the darker areas where it's all shaded really darkly in there. And just very light pressure for the highlights. And I just may go over again with the white Prismacolor again to smooth it out. White Prismacolor comes in handy all throughout my color pencil work here. I already put some white Prisma down, so to make sure to keep it as light as possible. But down here, it's very dark down on the bottom here. So these two thought that by acting like spoiled brat teenagers and disrespecting the queen, they were going to get everybody on their side or something. They just thought, Americans will just love it. They'll love it. Didn't turn out that way for them. Instead, they were kicked out of Hollywood, basically, ignored, ghosted. Not ghosted, they're not ghosted, but they're not welcomed. Many people in Hollywood were shocked at their behavior. That's really dark here and down there. Yeah, see, it's somewhat coming together there, right? You can sort of see again the really darkest areas. Pressing down. You see it gradually building it up, that it starts looking like what you're after, the shirts. Just a little darker, so I'm going back with the dark night to put a light shade of this over. It's like a grayish blue. It's not particularly dark, but it will be another layer on top of the navy blue to just dull it down a little bit more. It's not quite so bright and saturated. Darken it, dull it down a bit. Darken it a bit. I'm just going over the whole light layer there, pressing down a little harder in the darker areas. Sort of burnishing it a bit here with the the dark night. It's very dark on the bottom, so I'm pressing harder on the bottom. So I'm going to go in for some black. I think try to resort to black unless I absolutely have to. I mean, I could put some brown in there. It is blue. If you put a dark brown with a blue, you get a black. So actually, I'm going to do that first. Yeah, dark brown out here. I think I'm going to use the chalk tone. That's like the darkest brown I have. And I'm going to put that over all the darkest areas. Oh, yeah, that goes into a nice dark black color there. I'm just very lightly using it on the lines to darken them up a bit. I may go over the whole thing with just a layer of chalk tone, darken this up. It's a little too bright. Putting light pressure over what I just put on, and a little heavier pressure where the dark lines are, darkest areas. If a little bit of brown shows up, it's easy. Just cover it with navy blue later and cover it right up. Not a problem. Doing very light pressure, just going over the whole thing. Still looking very, I mean, it looks a little more toned down, but it's still very bright. Now I'm using the navy blue and I'm just going over it. Another layer of navy, just a very light layer of navy blue over the tone that I just put on. Glazing it, I guess you could say. And glazes here. Again, it's the navy, navy blue. I think we're getting somewhere. I want to try burnishing it with. I'm going back to the Dark Knight. try burnishing this all and see if that works out. Anyway, I'm hoping it will. I'm putting medium to heavy pressure on now over this whole thing. Yeah, I think it's coming together. I don't want these highlights to be so light. You know, it's a very more subtle kind of difference with the highlights of the shirt, the crinkling of the shirt, the folds. Yeah, I want to show but not be so. I'm going back to the navy blue here because I can't really see these anymore. I kind of colored over them, so I'm going over again, putting in a little bit more, and then the chalk tone over that, make it a little darker. And then I'm using the dark night to like burnish it in, burnish it all together. All right, how's this looking? I think it's about where I'm get to. I think this is probably I'm gonna end it there. Yeah, that looks about close, close enough to what I was going for. You know, I'm not looking for perfection here. You can play around with these folds all day and all night if you want. Every perfection you want to be about it. But I think that's, you know, close I'm gonna get. I might go over it one more time just because it's so bright. I got the gun metal um, gray here to gray it down just a little bit more and to kind of burnish it a little bit more. Yeah, sort of just graying it down a little bit more here, just to tone it down. The navy blue is a lot brighter than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a bit darker looking when it came out on my swatch. But it didn't come out quite as dark as I was expecting. I think his shirt is probably black. It's not even blue. It looks so much darker. I might even could use a black and gray to get this shirt if you wanted. Yeah, I'll stick with that. The blue. I think the blue is nicer looking than his shirt. I'm just going over the darkest areas with the chalk tone. I think I'll end it right there. So that there's the shirt. So I got the shirt done and his face. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna stop right there. I know I'm doing this little by little as I go through this. Well, there you have it. So that's I'm gonna end it there, part two. for the Harry and Meghan Markle debacle coloring book. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Bye bye, everyone.